I don't want to go back to my cheating ex, but I keep thinking if it was all fake from his side. This is going to be a long one, so hold on tight. We met each other during college. He reached out to me and tried to flirt a lot. He was pretty cute and sweet guy at the age of 20. I'm complete introvert and I never in life has paid attention to boys or looking for anything at the time. Even though I got lots of attention, I just was very focused on being straight a student and wanted to build a good life and be financially secured. My parents have been always tight on budget and I could see them sacrificing everything for kids' education and happiness. So I was mature before age and earning money was first priority for me. I never wanted to be in love so early in life, but we never best friends. He was always there for me. He was always someone I could trust, so after 1 year of being friends, I melted and completely fell in love. We were extremely happy small kids in love. We shared lunches, went on cute cheap dates, we studied together. We just clicked about everything all right. As we grew more, after a year of our graduation, he wanted to pursue MBA, so he started to prepare for it. He said he wants to create a secure future for us. He wanted us to be happy and in no worry about money. I felt so lucky. I supported him with all the journey, woke up with him at 2 a.m. for his preparations, wrote his applications. It was a tough time for us because he spent most of his time in preparation. I was feeling lonely, but I knew he was doing it for us only. He got into an amazing course at a reputed institute. I was very proud. It was time for long distance, but I never felt it. We were always in sync. I prepared hundreds of his PPTs, helped him with his research and writing papers and assignments, woke him up at 5 a.m. by calling so that he doesn't miss his calls, sat with him whole night on Zoom for his deadlines. There was always gratitude. He did not really get any support from his parents all his life. So he was very happy that I'm his whole family now. He graduated, got into an amazing company as international sales manager for their software. I had some freedom with my job, so I switched and got a job with WFH so we could finally love together. That's when our finally happiest period started. After a few months, we met each other's parents, took an international vacation. I went to his brother's wedding and was introduced as next bride. We were going to get a dog soon. As part of his job, he had to travel internationally very frequently, for at least 10 days a month. He was not home. As I had switched states for him, I worked from he. I didn't really have anyone when he was gone. I had no one. I kept myself occupied and missed him, but he was always texting me, video calling me whenever he could. He used to say, "I hate being away from you. I don't do any sightseeing in these countries because I only want to do things with you." I used to cry out of loneliness, but I knew this is a phase. We'll get better when he changes job. For the last 6 months of us together, I could see a shift in his behavior. He always on phone. On weekends still stuck to phone. Getting work calls all the time and never declining them. I knew we're not in sync. I used to cook his favorite dishes when he returned for his trips. I used to plan a date, but he used to say, "Can we just order in and watch a movie?" We didn't go out together for whole 6 months. He never cared to look at me. I complained about this to him, and he felt so sorry, he said in sales. As the deal is in last stage, he's in a lot of stress because Dell size falls in millions of dollars. Just give him 1 month and he will turn around everything. I agreed, and I never wanted anything more than his time and care. I had to beg him for it. I still trusted him. He was still the sweet child I fell in love with in college. I was sick with high fever when he wanted to go for his last work trip. He didn't ask to get medicine. He didn't care if I was okay alone, but he packed his bags and left. Said, "You're very strong, my girl. You'll be okay." I broke down after he left and cried all night. He didn't bother to call me even after he reached down there for 10 hours. When he did, I said, "Didn't you care about how I was feeling?" He said, "Why are you always complaining? You never support me when I need it. You knew how important this deal is. I was in meeting all the time. I was not chilling here." My heart just shattered. He extended his stay for more 7 days there maybe to be away from me. He came back after 12 days. He came back as everything is okay. Told me he loved me and apologized for his behavior, but trust him as the guy I trusted 7 years ago and trust that kind heart. We made up and had nice lunch. He took a nap afterwards. I watched his adorable face and I saw an IG message pop up on his phone. It was like, "Haha, I won't keep you waiting next week when you're here, heartsuit." We shared our passwords, saw I opened the chat. It was going back to 2 weeks, and he had sent his photos from his business event and asking to take her out for dinner. She had an open profile and looked like an IG model. I could not believe it. I didn't know what to feel. I could not breathe. I woke him up instantly and asked him about this. He was scared. He told me he just met her in the hotel where he stayed. She reached out and asked for his info and he was sorry. He blocked her immediately and I was crying. He said, nothing happened. He was feeling very trapped because I used to complain in last 6 months about how he is not doing enough for me. His business deal kept getting delayed in final stage and he wanted to take an easy win. He wanted some ego boosting. He was never going to go on date with her. He felt sorry that his mindless actions hurt me so much. He said, you know how much I love you. I don't care about anyone else. Please give me another chance. I'll rectify my mistake. I'll spend my whole life trying to gain your trust. He kept slapping himself, cried for hours, apologized 1,000 times, kissed me feet. We spent 3 days just like this, but he's my baby. I didn't want to just throw away our lives if it's just one stupid mistake. He looked changed in those 3 days, cared for me, made meal for me, planned for a movie date, and took me out for dinner. I had these female instincts of just alarming all the time that something is not right. I reached out to that IG girl and explained what happened. She instantly apologized and said they actually matched on a dating app. He just completely lied to me. She shared screenshots of chats going back to more than 6 months. He had hidden our IG posts together from his account to look like he's single. The chats were average desperate single guy, looking to date a model. I received the screenshots around 5 in the morning and decided to leave the man. My whole life just shattered in front of my eyes. I wanted to have last nice moments with him because I love him still. I kissed him, woke him up, we had sex. I prepared him breakfast. He got ready and left for work as though he had convinced me. I packed my bags and left our home without a word. He called when he got back. My parents, I just called him and said, I know you were on dating apps and you have been doing this for a long time. I don't care if you die. Blocked him on everything, maintaining NC for a month now. I went through all the emotions. I feel used and ugly. I devoted the man and he turned out to be the average playboy looking for fun. I'm happy I caught this before marrying, but the years I spent with him and experiences we had together, how do I stop thinking about those moments? I know I made the right decision, but why did he choose to betray me like this? Now to the next story too. My wife cheated on me with my best friend amongst several other men. I'm not the kind of guy who usually puts his life out there for strangers to dissect, but right now, I need to vent, and I need someone to hear me. Maybe if I put this all down, I'll make sense of it. Or maybe I'm just screaming into the void. I don't even know anymore. My wife, Sarah, cheated on me with my best friend, Colin. Yeah, it sounds like a cliche, but it happened. The kind of thing you think only happens in movies or to other people until it crashes right into your life. And it's somehow worse than you think. Much worse. For a while, things felt off. Colin and I have been friends since forever. High school, college, through all the ups and downs, we were inseparable. He was my best man, my brother in every sense that mattered. And Sarah? She was the love of my life. 7 years together, 4 of them married. We had the kind of relationship people envied. Or at least, that's what I thought. Colin started getting distant a few months back. Less texting, more canceled plans. It wasn't like him. At first, I chalked it up to his new job. I figured he was just busy. Life has a way of dragging us all down, right? But there were moments, these little things that kept nagging at me. The weird tension when they'd be in the same room, the hushed tones, the stolen glances that lingered a bit too long. I ignored it. Because, why wouldn't I? These were my 2 favorite people, and I trusted them more than anything. They'd never, or at least, I thought they'd never. Then last night happened. Sarah told me she needed to get out of the house, maybe meet up with some friends for drinks. I didn't think much of it, but I got this feeling, this itch in the back of my mind that wouldn't go away. Something wasn't right, so I got in my car and just started driving. I ended up downtown, near the Cedar, this bar we always went to. And there it was, Colin's car parked outside. And right next to it, Sarah's. I felt my heart drop. I don't know how to describe it. It's like the floor just vanished under my feet. Still, I walked in. Maybe I wanted to prove myself wrong. Maybe I needed to see it to believe it. I spotted them right away, tucked in the back corner like they were hiding. She had her hand on his, and they were talking close, way too close for just friends. I knew right then, but I still walked up to them. I needed to hear it, needed to see the guilt on their faces. And there it was. That look. They both froze, like kids caught sneaking out after curfew. Sarah's face went pale, and Colin wouldn't even look at me. They didn't have to say it. I could see everything I needed to know. My best friend and my wife, betraying me together. I wanted to explode, wanted to scream at them, but all I could get out was one word. Why? I don't even know who I was asking. Both of them? Neither? They tried to give me the usual lines. They didn't mean for it to happen. It was a mistake. A moment of weakness. Whatever. Like that makes it better. Like any of it makes it okay. I was standing there, feeling like my world was crumbling, and they were acting like it was some unavoidable accident. But then it got worse. Sarah looked at me, tears streaming down her face, and that's when she said it wasn't just Colin. She'd been seeing other people. Plural. It wasn't just one affair. It was a whole damn pattern. She was out there with who knows how many guys while I was at home, planning a life with her. I looked at Colin, and the shock on his face was clear. He didn't know either. He thought he was the only one, too. We were both fools in this. Both suckers in some messed up game she was playing. I felt something snap in me. I asked her how many, almost afraid of the answer. She tried to justify it, saying it wasn't about numbers, like that even mattered. I couldn't stand there and listen to any more of it. I just turned around and walked out, left them both there to deal with their mess. I couldn't breathe. My chest was so tight it felt like my heart was going to stop. I spent the night driving around aimlessly, thinking of everything I missed, every lie I swallowed because I trusted her, because I trusted them. All those times I'd noticed something strange and convinced myself it was nothing. I keep replaying it in my head, wondering how I could have been so blind, so stupid. It's not just that my wife cheated. It's not even just that she cheated with my best friend. It's that everything I thought I knew about my life, everything I built with these two people, was a lie. I lost them both in one night, but maybe I never really had them to begin with. That's the part that hurts the most, the realization that I never knew them at all. I don't know where to go from here. I've got a house that feels empty, a heart that feels shattered, and no idea who to trust anymore. All I know is that the two people I loved the most turned out to be the ones who hurt me the worst. And now, I'm just left here, trying to figure out how to even begin to move on.